World War I, also known as the First World War or the Great War, began on 28th July 1914 and lasted until 11th November 1918, a total of 4 years, 3 months, and 2 weeks. It was a global conflict that reshaped history forever. Most of the fighting took place in continental Europe, but its effects were felt around the world. This was not just a European war. 135 countries took part, and nearly 10 million soldiers lost their lives, while millions more were wounded. Before World War II, it was simply called the Great War, because people believed nothing so destructive could ever happen again. The road to war. Before the war, European nations had formed alliances to protect themselves. But instead of ensuring peace, these alliances divided Europe into two rival camps. When Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was assassinated in Sarajevo on 28 June 1914, Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia and declared war. Russia, allied with Serbia, declared war on Austria-Hungary. This triggered a chain reaction. Germany declared war on Russia and France, and soon Britain entered the war after Germany invaded Belgium. The two sides. The world was split between the Allied powers, mainly Russia, France, the British Empire, later joined by Italy and the United States, and the Central Powers, led by Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. Major fronts and battles. The war was fought across multiple fronts. The Western Front. In France and Belgium, Germany tried to quickly defeat France using the Schlieffen Plan, but was stopped in the First Battle of the Marne. Here, trench warfare dominated, turning the front into a deadly stalemate. The Eastern Front. Unlike the West, fighting here between Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Russia involved mobile warfare, vast distances, and huge armies clashing across Central and Eastern Europe. Other fronts. Fighting also erupted in the Middle East at Gallipoli, between Italy and Austria-Hungary, in southeastern Europe, Africa, China, and even at sea and in the air. WWI saw the first major use of tanks, airplanes, and submarines, changing warfare forever. The turning point and the end. In 1917, the Russian Revolution forced Russia to exit the war, signing a separate peace with Germany. But that same year, the United States entered the war, tipping the balance. Germany launched a massive offensive in early 1918, hoping to win before American troops arrived. But they failed. From August to November 1918, the Allied powers launched the 100 Days Offensive, crushing German forces. Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire surrendered, and on 11 November 1918, Germany signed an armistice. The aftermath. The war's devastation was immense. The 1918 influenza pandemic killed millions more worldwide, adding to the tragedy. The war officially ended with the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, which imposed harsh penalties on Germany and reshaped borders. People called it the war to end all wars, believing such destruction could never happen again. But only 21 years later, the world would plunge into an even deadlier conflict, World War II. World War I changed everything. It collapsed empires, redrew borders, and introduced modern warfare to the world. It remains one of the most pivotal events in human history.